Dear future Enoch, if you were working at or managing a retail or entertainment venue and you were told that you saw more customers over the holidays, you'd think it'd make more sense to schedule more employees, right? Of course, that's just making sense. Things can't make sense. It wasn't my idea, but for some reason my family decided to go to Swiss Chalet over the Thanksgiving long weekend. Swiss Chalet. You know, that restaurant that was once decent for its value. Once. So for those not in Canada, we celebrate our Thanksgiving in October. Otherwise, the traditions of turkey and eating lots of stuff is still the same. The day before the Swiss Chalet incident, I was eating with some high school friends at an all-you-can-eat Brazilian steakhouse where the meat was deliciously rare and freshly carved right at your table for your pleasure. And then I went to Swiss Chalet, which was like going from a Michelin star restaurant to eating death row cafeteria slop. For a holiday long weekend, the place was very understaffed. Despite having a reservation, we still had to wait 10 minutes to be seated, and when we did get a table, we weren't even given menus. If you've been to Swiss Chalet anytime recently, you know that their food is not particularly memorable. They were once known for the chicken, but these days, you're literally better off buying Costco chicken and eating it yourself at the food court. The server seemed clumsy and didn't seem to know about the promotions they were doing that weekend. Oh, that's why we went to Swiss Chalet. They were doing a promotion, and we decided to go there because of a promotion, even though the food was absolutely terrible. Speaking of terrible, the pumpkin pie they served for dessert had the hint of dishwashing soap in it. I could complain about Swiss Chalet at length here, but that's not really my main concern, and there's lots of other fish in the sea, so Swiss Chalet can go out of business for all I care. My main issue is, why was nobody working there? You'd think that after some basic number crunching and basic analysis of traffic levels that they would have noticed that more people visited on holidays, and if more customers visit, that means they need more staff on site to ensure quality of service. Maybe I answered my own question there because Swiss Chalet hasn't been about quality of service for a long time. But I have noticed a reluctance, not universal, but it happens, where management just doesn't want to schedule people to work on holidays. Like, anecdote, I worked at Canada's Wonderland for 2 seasons. One morning on Canada Day, a national holiday, I got a phone call from my area supervisor telling me that my shift had been cut. I was confused as to why they cut my shift on a holiday. I mean, don't they need extra people? Maybe they actually thought we didn't, because we opened that day with skeleton crews. Budgets? But it's a holiday. It's gonna be busy. You're gonna make back any extra money spent on wages. Or the time I went into a Tim Hortons, also on Thanksgiving, and had to wait 15 minutes for a muffin and a drink because there were only 2 people behind the counter and they were also juggling drive-through customers. I don't know what goes on in the heads of managers when they decide to understaff locations during critical periods, even having been a manager myself. My only explanation is that you have to pay people extra to work holidays, but if it's gonna be busy, shouldn't that just make up the difference? Right? Future Enoch, I will see you next week.